Hey, Frank, how's it going?
Up, Paul?
Hey, how you doing, Justin?
You're good. Up, Bill, Jody? Oh, man.
Yeah, I think we got it set up here pretty good. Make you you're the co-host, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. You get any ships yesterday?
Yeah, I got one last night. I think it was last night. I don't remember, but I got one this morning at dawn. Was that cruise ship coming downbound?
Oh, the one you got, what was it, last week?
Yep, the Viking Octanus. Here comes Lance. Good morning, Lance.
You, Paul.
Yeah,
Morning, Justin.
morning.
You go flying this morning, Paul?
Yeah, I did. I did.
And you capture any fun ships?
Well, I got the Viking Octanus downbound right at dawn. I mean, it was on the verge of being dark and dawn, and I caught it down there. That was at about 5:45 a.m. this morning.
Okay. And how often do you catch the same boat periodically?
Oh, periodically quite a bit because I'm shooting them all the time. The difference is direction, the weather, the lightness, the time of day, all those kinds of things make them different.
Sure. Full or empty?
Yep. Yep.
And when they come in, they're usually full and unloading. Is that correct?
Well, they're when the ships are going by, they're passing by. They're coming from Lake Huron, heading down the St. Clair River towards Detroit, towards the East Coast. So it depends upon, it's like the international ships. Usually they're loaded when they come down through here,
Okay.
but the Great Lakes transport ships can be going either way. They can be either taking something. It's like there's a fleet of ships that carry chemicals that are going back and forth, up and down. Then there's another fleet of ships that handle um, cement products, and they're going up and down, and so it just depends. Like
Okay.
the coal is being transported to the coal fired generating plants along the river and down south. So
Speaking of boats and water, have you seen they cleared that Baltimore Bridge out pretty quick?
I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know,
good.
did they?
Yeah, they're getting it out pretty damn quick.
Well, I know that they've opened up the route again.
Is the ship gone yet?
I don't know, Justin. Did they remove the ship yet?
Let me see. I was trying to find some. I saw some video clips of certain sections of it where there was completely cleared, but not sure. I'm trying to find a video with like the whole shot of it. I hope they don't have that crew still sitting out there. That's ridiculous. Like
Well,
pull that
they're getting paid.
That's if the company doesn't go under.
Yeah.
Better have good insurance.
And here comes Captain Joe.
No mud ball. I wanted to talk food.
Oh, Mudball's not here yet. Donna's not here.
Full house this morning.
Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Jay.
Lance, Justin, all.
Good morning, Captain. It's raining like crazy in Seattle.
Well, we're about to get some.
I'm supposed to fly with my buddy Kip tomorrow, and they're calling for rain, so we'll see.
It is blue skies and sunny here. No
You
wind.
suck.
Just completely calm out.
Well, I could fly now. I could probably fly till 6 o'clock tonight. But the problem is, it's so dreary.
Yeah, cloudy.
It's ridiculous.
Does it ever stay light till 9 o'clock at all in your guys' neck of the woods? Not you, Paul. I know you do, but how about south?
I think sunset's about 7:40.
Okay, and that's so. What's the latest ever your sun sets during the year? About that time?
About 7:50, maybe 7:42 tonight.
You know, because we get it until about 9 o'clock, don't we, Paul?
Yep.
I was in Grand Rapids one time. Yeah, I spent a week in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it was like 10:30 at night.
Yep.
It was sunshine.
Yeah.
That screwed me all up.
The sun will go down, but it stays light for another, of course, another hour in the summertime. Yeah, we stay late in the summer.
Yeah, we're still going up right now. So I think around 8 o'clock is the latest we go.
But if you go to Hawaii, year round, the sun sets at 7 o'clock. I mean, it's dark at 7 in Hawaii.
Right.
And that doesn't matter if it's the summer or the winter.
Yep. I lived there 3 years in Honolulu.
I lived there a year, but when I was 4 years old, I don't remember that. But
Yeah, I lived in Honolulu for 3 years to the day. The day I arrived, 3 years later, Marine Corps sent me back.
wow.
I'm gonna share a screen here. This is the ship I got right at dawn this morning, which was 5:45 a.m. You see it yet?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, beautiful.
Man, look.
That is awesome, Paul.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. Look at that sky.
Look at that. You need to take a snapshot of that and send it to that company.
Oh, I'm sure they'll see it.
Right there. That shot right there. Right there.
Oh, nice. I like the other one better.
I like the first
the
first
pink
one,
is
but then
good.
I like it when it first transitioned when you turned on it.
That's a different boat, though. You're correct.
No, that's the Viking Octanus. It went upbound here about a week or two ago.
Okay. And that's a cruise liner, is that right?
Yep. Viking Cruise Lines. Yep.
Yeah, Paul got it going up the river last week.
That's cool, Paul.
Heading
Yeah,
down,
talk about that first.
it's
that first
heading
one was
for
really
either
a golden
I would
hour.
imagine it's headed for Toronto or Detroit or both. Could go to Detroit first, then stop in Toronto.
That blows my mind that those lakes are that big. It's just unfathomable for me.
What's up,
Oh
cool
yeah,
cat?
well they're like small freshwater oceans.
Yep.
The when I worked at Common Point Mortgage, which was in Grand Rapids, I was here in New Orleans at the branch, and Bill Gray was the boss down here, the manager, and he was from Grand Rapids, and he used to have to drive across Lake Pontchartrain, that 23-mile bridge every day, and he used to say he lived across the small pond. Yeah, 790 square miles of lake, and he called it the small pond. Yeah, that's nice.
Not a lot of people up yet.
What's that city they call the armpit of the world? It's in Minnesota, and it's on the edge of the lake. What's the name of that town?
Morning, Michael.
Any city in New York, that's the name. Or in California.
I'll tell you, Joe, San Diego is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I know. So I gotta admit that.
Too busy, but
Oh,
too
yeah.
busy.
Have you ever been up in the mountains in San Diego?
I have.
My
Oh, yeah.
cousins and one of my uncles and my cousin lived up in the mountains up there. I can't remember the name of the little town, but I stayed up there
My
with them
younger-
for a little while.
My younger brother was born in Brawley, which is just east of San Diego. You know, and I lived there when I was a kid.
Yeah, when I was living out in California, I
Morning,
lived in
cool cat.
Anaheim. I worked in Mission Viejo, and I had to go to San Diego to open a store for Burlington. And I think when you pass Mission Viejo, I think San Juan Capistrano's down that way, right? Isn't that on the way to San Diego?
Yep.
Yeah, because that's what it was. That's where it was. Because when I got into that area, it's just the change in the way the homes and the architecture was. First thing I did when I looked and saw the song hit my Hotel California. Just went in right in my brain. I looked at that and that song just it clicked, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, stopping to get gas, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, dokie. So Justin, how late were you guys gaming last night?
Till 12. And then I got off because I had to take Sarah to work this morning, so.
You're down to just one car?
We've always had just one car. It's too expensive to have two cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took her to work this morning, so 'cause I gotta go pick up
Okay,
Thomas from school later.
$4.17 for gas.
What was the price?
Expensive here in the Seattle area.
How much?
417. That's expensive. And
I
we
think it's
we
like
are
354 a gallon here.
yeah, I'm set for a while. Gotta go put them on, but that's it. I was looking at my shorts. I got 2 shorts going out today. Then I don't have any shorts.
Ah,
Any shorts. I don't have any backup. So I went this morning. I got up 8, and then for the last 45 minutes, I put together 18 shorts.
Oh, nice.
So I got 18 shorts sitting in a folder I get to add today later on. And all of the
Yeah.
shorts that I did, all 18 are from that poker run.
Look it up.
Both, all the boats, different views of the different boats. So I ought to get some views on that. I just got to label it right because it's going to be labeled just a little bit different, you know. But I got to make sure the tags are the same to pull the people in. It's got to have racing boats, cigar boat, all that other stuff, poker run, stuff like that. And people that are interested in that, it'll pick up. I might be able to get 800-900 views each at least. The way it's going. If it was normal, I'd probably be in the 2 or 3K.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
We could hear you.
So $30 for 7.3 gallons.
That sucks.
But I drive a Prius, believe it or not. And I only gas up about once a month.
Well, that's even better.
A little more than that. I probably gas up every 3 weeks, which is good. So $30 every 3 weeks.
Well, let me hurt your feelings. I drive Santa Fe, right?
Yeah.
And unless it's football season, I fill up maybe every 3.5 weeks. And my fill up is about $22 because I got a gauge that is quirky on me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I use my trip mileage when I hit 160 miles. So I'm only doing about $20 about every 3.5 weeks.
And
Now,
you're pretty much retired,
I'm doing it 3 times.
You're pretty much retired, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Except during football season. During football season, I feel like I'm working again. But there's gonna be a day. It's coming. Yeah, and I'm actually getting ready to start with football crap again. Because the 17th, I got to drive to Hattiesburg, Mississippi for that spring game. And then a couple of weeks later, after school shuts down, they'll start doing 7-on-7s. So they'll be playing games during the week, you know, and they play them during the day, starting like at 9 or 10 in the morning, and they'll end like at 1 in the afternoon. And it's usually little tournaments they play. And those things are a pain in the butt because you go sit out there for the game. You got to wait for they got 2 different teams going. So they might have five 7-on-7 tournaments in 4.5 hours. So I got to wait for each one to play. It's like, and then it's usually 100 degrees, you know?
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, it was so bad last year in July. Okay. That I was sitting under a tent and I had water with me, but I was next to the water. So I was getting ice cold water and Gatorade the whole time. And when Mandeville won the tournament, he put the team together and I didn't have nothing but my long lens because I was shooting distance stuff. And he wanted a team picture. And they were on a 50-yard line. I had to go to the end of the end zone. I had to walk to the end of the end zone to shoot the picture to get them all in. And walking back, I thought I was going to pass out. That's how hot it was. And I had been drinking fluids all day. Then I had another 100 yards to walk to go to my car. It was like, man, that's when I always say, that's it, I'm done. You know? Because there comes a time where you feel it and you know, hey, it's getting close to stopping. And then there's times where they get in a run and everything, it's cool and it's comfortable and it's nighttime and everything's going good and the games are getting better. And then you don't want to, you want to be there every week, you know? So it's crazy.
How many high schools are in your city that you live in, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Right here, let's see. You got Mandeville, you got Fontainebleau, you got Lakeshore, that's general vicinity right here. Covington, that's the four within a few miles. Then you got North Lake Christian, St. Paul's, 6. North Shore, Slidell. Within about a 17-mile ratio, you got North Shore, Salem, let's see, you got about 11.
Okay.
Within about
How
17
big is
miles.
how big is your city?
Let me find out. Hold on a minute. Alexa, what's the population of Mandeville, Louisiana?
According to the 2020 U.S. Census, the population of Mandeville is 13,200 people.
13,200 people.
9% increase.
My
over the
gosh, you
2020
live in a hick
US
town.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every one of them got more money than me.
Yeah. The population of my school district, kids-wise, is 45,000. Just kids.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was gonna tell you, I was gonna say 40,000.
Yeah.
That's what it
You know,
feels
we've
like. You know?
6 high schools just in my school district, and there's probably another 18 within 15 miles at least. Maybe even 10 miles, 10-mile radius.
Yep.
What's up, TJ?
But, you know,
Yeah,
Tacoma
so-
is the 3rd largest city in the state. Of course, behind Seattle and Spokane.
Yep.
And then we're the 2nd biggest school district. We kind of fluctuate between Spokane being the 2nd and us being the 2nd. Just kind of
Yeah.
depends on the time of year, which kids quit school and come back.
The goofy trash guys missed some of the trash. I had to take it across the street, so when they come back, they'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So now it makes me think that, yeah, I do live in a little hick town, don't I?
Do you have a traffic light?
Yeah, we got about 2. No, we got a bunch.
Okay.
now a little hick town is there's a town that's just a little bit north and west of me, heading up towards the Thumb. All it has is a blinker light.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to go to Eastern Washington to find that here.
Yeah, that shocked me though. I figured I was thinking we had 30, 40,000 people here. I didn't realize 13,000 was all.
And what is the rank of the high school? Like AAA, AA, 4A?
4A. All of them are 4A. Yeah, figure that one out. All of them in the area are 4A, except for one. Lakeshore is 3A.
And how big do your rankings get in your state? Do they get up to 8A, 10A? What do they get to?
5A.
Okay, so you're the 2nd largest classification.
Yeah, and then 5As are actually the 5As are more or less. But Mandeville is a 5A. It's 4 5s and a 3 here in the area because there's a couple of 4As. Mandeville, Covington, they're 5. I gotta look. I think they're 4A. I think it's 4A. But the 5As I think are specified now because they've zoned them to like the Catholic private schools or 5A.
Okay.
They changed them to a different kind of category. And then they got select schools, select ones, and all of these crazy things. Because Mandeville's a select one in baseball, which is the top of the line.
So ours is strictly on population of the high school.
Well, let me tell you, 13,000 people, right? The graduating class this year is like 700.
No way.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's huge.
When my son graduated, when my two sons graduated, it was over 500 each.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin's graduating class was 2000.
That's ridiculous.
They had to do the graduation, I think, in 4 or 6 different ceremonies.
That's not fun. What if you had a boyfriend at the end of the alphabet and you were at the beginning of the alphabet? You know, you can graduate with him.
No, you know what not fun is? I went to Alsace Forte for 3 years and then transferred over to East Jefferson for my senior year. And my girlfriend was at Forte, and our graduations were the same night. Hers was early, mine was early, hers was later. So we looked at each other, said, I'll come over to yours when mine's finished. She says, no, I'm coming to yours. Like that, so you're not gonna have time to get back. She goes, we'll figure it out. She came to mine, my graduation, and then we jumped in a car, ran over to her graduation, and she was on stage and I was right in the front, and everybody knew me because I was there 3 years. And then our proms that were the same night, and my prom was later than hers, so we went straight from her graduation to the prom, and then straight from that prom to the other prom.
Wow. You see
That
what
was
Joe
tough.
Fodolio put in there? He says he is Conroe ISD Intermediate School District, where his kids go, 67,000 students.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
And is Joe a suburb of Dallas? Do you live in a suburb of? And by the way, Joe, I loved your video of you and Mike. By the way,
I think he's sub Houston, I think, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Houston, that's
Houston.
right. Yeah. Houston is the 4th largest city in the United States. That's huge. There's the armpit of the world, Houston. Sorry, Joe.
He'll probably agree.
But hey, the Mariners kicked the crap out of the Astros this weekend. We like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey TJ, I missed you, buddy.
And you got Joe Fodolio in there too.
What's that?
I said, and you got Joe Fodolio in there too.
Yep. Yeah, Joe just was saying that his school district is 67,000 students.
Yeah, that's huge.
Now I always hear everybody giving Joe crap about the way he flies, Joe Fodolio. Does that just go with the name Joe or what?
Hey,
I got your back, Joe. I got your back, Joe.
Any Joe sucks.
I got your back, Joe. Forget about it.
That's
a good one, Justin.
At least we fly.
I've heard more comments now on the small motion controller 3 and people complaining about how small and slippery it is.
My wife used to say that. Well, I got 3 kids,
Joe's
so she
used
liked
to
it.
small and slippery, right, Joe?
But my wife liked it. We had 3 kids. So.
Joe is from Kansas City. Joe Fodolio.
Yeah, that's where they got that football team.
Yeah,
that
but I don't
sucks.
think he lives there right now. I think he lives in Texas someplace.
Spring,
I didn't
Texas.
think it was. Is that near Houston or is that north? Does he live north?
Well, if he lives in Kansas City, then
He said North Houston.
Yeah, I know. I know he's a Chiefs fan, but I don't think he doesn't live in Kansas City. He lives in
It's North Houston, Spring,
North
Texas.
Houston. Gotcha. Okay.
That's bad. I had a guy yesterday look at the Avaya that I have on Marketplace, and I got it set for local pickup. He says, I'm in Orange, Texas. Can any way you meet me? I went, no.
No.
I'm not driving 4 hours for a $500 drone. No. Boudin isn't even good enough for me to stop for. Cost me $40 in gas. Then I got to go over the Atchafalaya Basin, which is the worst travel section in the world. It's like 10 miles over a swamp, and it's 2 lanes both ways, and the speed limit on it's like 55. And it's an old highway. They need to rebuild it, but they won't do it. And it's so bad that if there's an accident on it, you're tied up there for 3 or 4 hours. They had one other day, the people were stuck out there for 6 hours because it was 18-wheel involved. And once you're on it, you can't, there's no turning around.
I take it you haven't driven A1A from Miami to Key West.
No, I heard that's bad too.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It's a pretty drive, but boy, you have to do it in 2 days. We stopped halfway down Isle Morada, spent the night, then drove the rest of the way the next day. But it's a pretty drive, but boy, it's like 35 miles an hour the whole way, I think, if I remember right.
I'll be right back. That fluid pill kicked in today.
Okay.
I just got to school. I'm going to stop the vehicle here.
Good morning, everybody in the chat. Lance, what time does school start there? You can't hear me.
What'd you say?
I said, what time does school start there?
Oh, school starts at 7:35, the first class. And I have
6:30 there now, right?
correct.
Okay.
And I don't have a class till 8:30. My plan is the very first period of the day.
Now, how many students do you have?
Just I have about 30 in each class, so I have about 150 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't like it in Texas much at all, I guess. He's been in Texas for 16 years.
I was born in Beeville, which is close to Houston. It's between Houston and Corpus Christi.
Joe, where is your hometown? Where
Which
you were,
Joe?
where you grew up and everything else.
Which Joe?
Any Joe can answer. They all suck.
Captain Joe.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay. So you're pretty much close to your roots.
Yeah, close enough, but far enough away. And you know the worst part about it? I've always, no matter where I live, wanted to come back.
That's the roots pulling you.
And if it wouldn't be for family down here and the family's starting to dwindle, I wouldn't be here.
How'd your son make out on that SWAT thing he did a couple of days or so ago or something? You were waiting to hear from him.
He said everything was fine.
Okay.
They went in and the kid came around the back, tried to get out the house. They caught him. There were no weapons at the house, so
Joe's roots are in Kansas City.
yeah, but he wants to move to the Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
I gotta be close to an airport. A major airport.
You do a lot of traveling by air?
As much as I can, much as I can afford.
Hey, I haven't been on a plane in years.
I'm trying to think the last time. It's been almost 20 years for me.
Yeah, that cruise ship, I just looked it up, is headed for Detroit.
Roger, I have a spirit reporting. Now, Neil Gilman discovery. At Marine City, and when you get up to Big Island,
It's been almost 20 years since I've been on a plane.
Really?
Yeah.
Been longer than that for me. I think the last flight I took was when I got married. I got married on my honeymoon. I went from here to San Francisco, then from San Francisco to Hawaii, then back to Vegas, I think it was. Somewhere along the line, we stopped in LA, but just to change planes, I think. That was back when you could do that whole trip and it only cost you about $2,700 a piece, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Now it'd be several $1,000s.
Yeah, they got deals out there. You just got to really be paying attention. But I have no reason to go anywhere. My son in North Carolina, he keeps telling me, you know, he keeps trying to get me to come up there. Now, he told me, he said, if I got to Alaska, all I have to do is get to Alaska. He said, then I'm on my own till he's home at the hotel. I'd just be in a hotel there, you know. Now, I thought about it. I thought about going up there and bringing some drones and just go and fly Alaska for a little bit for a couple of days and then come back. But it's too much money.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be cool though, especially, you know, go in the middle of the week and then come back Monday. Like that. That way I have at least a day and a half with him and we can go do stuff.
Speaking of which, we haven't heard from our friend, the Sky Medic.
There's nothing
Yeah.
cheap about Alaska. You want to go up there and get a bowl of milk or a bowl of cereal with some milk, $45.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I was watching this video on this girl. Her parents owned a store in one of the really tiny towns up there, and fucking 12-pack of like Pepsi was like was it like 30 or $40 or something ridiculous. I was just
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, it's beautiful and everything up there, but I don't know why anybody would want to live up there and pay those kind of prices.
Yeah, it's gotta be a killer.
Like if you're
The
working up in a,
prices, not only on food, but the prices on everything, because everything's gotta be shipped in.
yeah, it's not so bad in like places like the couple of the big cities there in Alaska, but it's like those little small towns where everything has to be flown in. There's no highways that can get there or anything. Those are the worst ones. Because this town only had like 500 people in it, and her parents' store was literally one of those like, it was a honor store. There was no cashier or anything. You would just go in there, get whatever you wanted, and you'd put the money in the thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like an honor system for the town. Right. But it was ridiculous. Like a half a watermelon was like $40 or something. I was like, Jesus. Like everyday things that we buy for a couple dollars here is like a delicacy up there.
Well, yeah, that's why most of them hunt and fish and do everything else up there.
That was like before Starlink came out. Some of the internet services they had up there were crazy expensive. A lady said they were paying like one lady was talking about her internet bill every month and she was paying like $600 a month for like I think 100 gigs of internet.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, that's expensive. Starlink
That's
was a
crazy.
big savior for a lot of people because it's not, it doesn't go up in price just because you're somewhere else. It's pretty much across the board, the same price everywhere. So now some of these people in the most rural areas in Alaska can get internet service for, a little over $100 a month, like Tim's got.
Yeah, that's
Is that what
good.
Tim pays for Starlink now?
Yeah, it's like 120, 140 a month or something. I think it's gone down like $20 in price a month. I think it was originally 140. I think it's 120 now. Plus the equipment's gone way down in price too since they've become more online and since more people have been buying into it and it's bigger now and they've added to it, equipment's gone way down in price too.
Yeah.
The equipment used to be like $1,200. Now I think you can get it for like a few $100 now. But especially in America, I mean, there's so many rural areas that are out in the middle of nowhere where cable companies don't run internet and stuff. So it's like there's going to be a lot of potential for business in like the Midwest and stuff.
You have a good day, Akisho.
All right, a rock ass show. See you later, man.
Warren, later.
Because I think cable companies they require, I think you have to be a certain population size for they'll run cable,
Yeah.
and it's got to be I think like 10,000 or something like that before they'll run it into a major area. Because like Tim was saying, they put fiber optics right outside his house, but the thing is they're not tapping into those to give each individual house every mile and a half down the road internet. All that is doing is running from one city to another city.
Right.
They don't care about the one or two customers along the route. It's not worth it to them to run cables out of there and tap into it.
Man, that video I did on the riverfront has everything in it. It had racing boats, the cigar boats. It had yachts. It had sailboats. It had jet skis. It had a police boat. It's got the swing bridge opening up for a pontoon boat. It's got all of it in that one video.
How long is that video?
About 4 minutes, not even 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's too long for a drone video.
It's not too long because it's on all these boats and hitting the different boats, and I'm not far from them. I'm within feet of these boats, so you're getting good views of them, and you get the bikinis on them and everything.
How many views have you gotten on it?
In one day, 60.
Yeah, but okay, so what did you put as a thumbnail? Because it should have been a picture of the girls in bikinis on the boats.
I don't remember what I put on it. I
And
think
then you need to put
yeah.
that in the title.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't need to clickbait that.
No, that's not clickbait though, if you're actually showing it in there. Clickbait is when
Yeah,
you put a girl.
actually,
Clickbait would be you filming ships putting bikinis in as a thumbnail, but then there's not actual bikinis in there.
well,
That's clickbait.
there wasn't a lot of them laying out on the deck. They were in the boat. You know, the bottom line is it's going to happen again, and then I'll get the clickbait shots.
Like I said, as long as it's actually in the video, it's not clickbait.
Yeah.
But it will draw more people into watching it because people will click on it just to go to that part of the video.
And the swing bridge, as the swing bridge was opening, I was sitting at about 14 feet above the river, and I was about 15 feet from the swing bridge as it opened. So you got it opening right in front of you, like that.
Clickbait was like when you put swimmer attacked by gator and it was just a gator swimming in there, or a shark, or whatever that was.
I should
Shark.
say gator. Oh, it was gator. No, I said shark. That's what I said.
Yeah, you put shark attack, and then there's not actually an attack.
Yeah, I needed to see it. I'm not giving you anything. Go. What I did, the other one at the mouth of the river with the Avada 2, when I was chasing them, they had one of them with two of the girls laying on the deck in bikinis. Now that's the picture I should have put on the other one, but I didn't have them in that. But I usually get 20 views, so I'm double normal. So
Did someone mention bikinis? Look, you already got Brian's attention. Justin does 120 with the equipment. What? Oh, dude, I'm liking this NVIDIA highlights. Started using it. I didn't think my video had it, but it does. Pretty cool, because then I don't have to actually film any of my gaming when I'm offline. It'll just catch all the like the AI that's built into NVIDIA will just catch all the highlights from the game. It knows when you get eliminated and stuff like that, or you kill somebody, and it will automatically record those little clips. Enough for shorts.
well, come on. Come on.
I like that.
Loki said he wanted to come up here. Oh, I know. I know, man. Hello. Loki wanted to give me some loving this morning.
Yep.
Look at him. He's laying his head on me.
Yep.
Oh, no, look at that big old tongue. That's all he's doing, just laying his head on me. Just a good boy. Hey, this is crazy. 6 months ago, I couldn't have done this. I think it's because he's high. I don't want you to hold me, but I'll let you now because I got high. He loves his drug dealer.
Yep.
Let you go. Let you go. Come on.
Well, those chews you get him, it's made a difference.
Yeah, he got it already. No, he didn't. It's right here. I usually give it to them before we go to bed and then around 8 in the morning. Try to give them the second one. This is their second favorite right here.
Hey, TJ.
Oh my God, Cool Cat's gross.
TJ's here.
TJ.
There we go.
He's on a roll.
Cool Cat said, TJ, you still scallywag you.
What do you think? Think I can put it on the front?
That's great. That's funny.
Hey, here comes Don.
Speaking of which,
Don is he's having a blown out morning. What are you watching, TJ?
Watching you guys. I was vacuuming earlier, and then she made some cookies, and I was cleaning up the kitchen a little bit.
Making cookies, huh? Is that what
TJ?
you young folks call it now? Making cookies?
TJ,
A little cookie for your nookie.
Yeah.
TJ, I gotta give you a little advice. Okay,
Funny.
little bit of advice. Okay, and when you say she was making, say my wife was making.
Oh
Your wife would love that better.
yeah. She was making muffins and such.
Yeah, say my wife was making muffins.
My wife.
My wife was making muffins and such.
That's it. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she was
Take
doing
the
all
she
the
out of your
bacon.
vocabulary.
She was doing all the bacon, and TJ was making the whoopee.
He was buttering the buns.
That's right.
Funny.
He was tongue tasting.
Oh, for
Oh Lord help me, I didn't go that bad.
Right, Justin?
I'm not even commenting on it.
Justin,
So I
Justin
did
is-
this yesterday.
Justin is tongue tied.
He's tongue tied.
Certificate of achievement. What's that?
I did the reoccurrent yesterday,
Oh, okay.
and I tell you what, it took me 35 minutes to find out where to take it. It was that hard to find it, and then I tried to sign in, and it wouldn't let me sign in.
Exactly.
I have my all my stuff on a keychain, all my passwords on a keychain. I typed in every password I could figure they were going to lock my account. Then it gave me the security question was where did your mom and dad meet? Okay, I know where they met because it was her hometown. So I put it in there. It said no, wrong answer. So I said, okay, let's try the other town that they lived in. I put that in there. Wrong answer. No matter where I put, it was wrong answer. And I know the first one was right. I guarantee it. So I had to go in there and recover my account and start my account all over again and then merge my account to the other one. And then I had to put security questions. Then I had to prove that it was my account. So that was another 40 minutes. You know, so when it was all said and done, it took me almost 2 hours before I could start taking the test. I was pissed. And
Now,
it's
that-
not hard, Dan.
That raised your frustration level.
Oh, and then I had the dogs barking at me, and I was yelling at them, and the TV had something on good, and I was trying to watch the TV at the same time. So I was doing about 5 things. So I was going through the practice test and everything, and during the practice test, I missed a couple stupid questions because I didn't read them. You know, and then they said, okay, give me the test. I got the test. I went down the test, went down it, looked at it. 75, it's 45 questions. So I went down to 45 questions, said grade it, and he came back and he says, you must have 100% to pass. I missed one. So I went back and they let you change it. They don't
Oh,
care.
yeah,
They
I know.
just-
That's the
yeah.
great thing about the reoccurrence. They started that the last time I took it. It's like it grades it while you're there, and then you can go back and change the answers.
Yeah. So I went back to that one answer and I read it again and I changed it. And it was wrong again. I missed out of the 3 questions, the first 2 choices I was wrong. I said, you gotta be kidding me. And I still don't know what the right answer was.
Was this when you were renewing your Part 107?
Yeah, that was last night.
Yeah.
So Joe, I bet it was the same question I missed. I missed 2, and I took it with 2 buddies. So all 3 of us were sitting in the same room, and we kind of did it together, and we're, John back and forth. We all missed the same 2. We changed both of the answers to say it was A. We changed them to B. We got them wrong. We changed them both, and we got them right. And it's like 2 stupid.
The question I missed, the one I missed was something to do with class 3. Class 3, and it said everything had to be under 55 pounds, or it had to be properly marked, but I can't remember what the other one was. And I looked at it and I said, well, it's got to be under 55 pounds, no matter what. And I said, both of those, it's got to be properly marked. And I looked at it. So I looked at the 2 and I said, well, I think it's supposed to be properly marked. The first one, then I said, but that under 55 pounds makes sense because it does say that. And I was mad that I didn't take a screenshot of that and go back and look at it. I could have looked at it because I've got the stuff. So I went ahead and did under 55 pounds. I said, nope. So I went back and then on the other one, I went back. I said, well, let's do the all mark. I said, nope. I said, God darn it. When I hit the third, then, the best part is when I hit C and hit it again, I'm put back to where I got to log in. So I said, well, what the hell? I got to do this all over again. So I go back in there and I just backspace, go back in there, look at it. And I go back to C, hit C, hit it again. It puts me back to the login screen. So I said, well, I ain't fooling with this. About 2 minutes later, I get an email saying I passed. I said, well, we could say it when you hit it,
Yeah.
And then you got to go figure out where to get the certificate at because they don't tell you.
But I've had to take the reoccurrent twice.
What's up, Dan?
I got my first one and I got my original in 19, and then I had to do it in 21, and then again in 23. So
Yeah, so I'm good for 2 years. But it was this month, so I said, let me go do it now and get it over with.
Supposed to be a nice day today, but it's kind of a little cloudy over.
Yeah, it's nice here. The sun's shining with blue skies.
TJ, you need to start singing that song, Blue Sky. Nothing but blue skies. What you do is you streak around the neighborhood singing Blue Sky.
Blues are nothing but blue
And
skies.
see how long before the ambulance shows up.
Not long.
When they show up, TJ, they're not trying to fit you for a new overcoat.
They'll have the guy down the street hollering, don't look, Ethel.
That's funny. That's funny. That's hilarious.
And the guy down the street be hollering, don't look, Ethel. And then they'll say, too late. She already seen the backside of the moon.
Dan said I look like somebody who just walks around all day looking for a Russian collision. a Russian collision.
Collision?
Yeah, collision.
Oh God,
yeah.
whose mic
That's
is
an
that?
illusion.
That's mine. Why is it loud?
I was for a second there, but I think it's just because you
Sounded
were
like, it
adjusting.
sounded like a bunch of wind was blowing.
That's all right, Don. It sounds all right.
Well, I'm just happy you guys can hear me.
T-Move earphones.
Because I've been talking to you for a while. Ever since I joined in, I've been talking to you, but I realized I had left my mic upstairs in the closet because I was doing a voiceover earlier today.
Well, at least you were live.
And if you're catching voiceover, you don't want it in a. Even though I've got some soundproofing here, it's not to say you can hear my voice. It's kind of echoey, and you got background noise of the fans and stuff. So I go up in the closet. I got clothes all around me, and it acts as a really good sound deadening.
So what you're saying is you came out the closet?
I came out of the closet, went in the closet, came out of the closet, went in the closet. You know.
Okay.
What were you doing a voiceover of?
For a car commercial. Well, it's not really commercial. It's for a video that's going to be played at a rodeo.
Oh, collision means like when two objects are just colliding together, right?
Yeah. Collusion and collision are two different things. Russian collusion means that you are getting together and being sneaky and planning stuff. You're colluding.
I thought Dan said I thought the word was collision, but it's collusion.
Yes, collusion.
Don't ask Joe though. He misspelled band yesterday.
Yeah, I did, and I'm pissed. No, but you know what? You know what the worst part is? The worst part is.
Was I the first person to point that out, by the way?
Yes, you
Well,
were.
he did. No, my son did.
Oh, did he?
My son did when I sent it to him. If I was seeing it, I would have changed it right fast.
But
But
I said he already ordered 10,000 shirts. So
I ordered one. But you know what I'm gonna do with the one when it comes in? When it comes in, I'm gonna get some paint that I can put on there, and I'm gonna put like a cross and a thing covered or something. Or I'll put an X through it, you know. But,
Yeah.
But you got to realize,
I intended to make this mistake.
With bands, and I was in a Marine Corps band. It was like that's the word that hit me, you know. But it's fixed now.
Trust me, I'm correcting. There's this ad that I'm tweaking. I'm basically butchering this ad that has been on the air for years. I didn't produce it, but another person produced it, and I proofread it back in the day. And they've got a cell phone come in that says "Buy your vehicle," but vehicle is spelled VECHICLE, vehicle.
Wow.
Cool Cat said it's a lot safer when vehicles collude.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
What?
Next time you have an accident, DJ, call the insurance company, tell them you want to report a collusion.
I don't know. Maybe a mouse pad. I don't know.
I was gonna.
Hey, TJ,
Dang it!
we want to teach you a new phrase. Now memorize this. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
She's talking about getting my mom something like a mouse pad or a blanket or something. I'm like,
And what's the answer? What's the correct answer?
That sounds like a good
Yes,
idea.
Yes, dear.
I'm sure she would
That's
like
a
that.
wonderful idea. Maybe we could buy her both.
Thank you.
He's got to learn, and we'll work on him.
Thank you. It's helping.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Let me hear you.
Oh,
Let me hear
pinch
you.
him harder. Pinch him
Go
harder.
ahead. Go ahead. Show us you can do it.
You know what would work better? Get a taser. A taser would work better.
A taser? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Sure.
Sweaty.
I know.
He says, sure. Hey,
TJ,
get a taser, one of those flashlight tasers. That'll get him to say
You need
yes.
to work on that, TJ. Make life a lot easier.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Go ahead. Try it, TJ. Give us a what?
Yes, dear.
There you go.
Bad when he goes silent.
Your wife's gonna take a red marker and start writing "yes, dear" all over the place.
That's funny.
The pen is blue.
That's hilarious. Oh me. Oh goodness. Oh. Woo.
How good are TJ? How good are you at taking tests?
Not very good.
Well, we can work on that too. But what is the new phrase I learned today?
Yes, dear.
That's it. You got to have that ready.
Yeah.
You always have it on the tip of your tongue.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
No, you don't
No.
say it like that.
Not like that. Yeah, that's no, I'm not gonna say that.
Got to put some sincerity into it. Sincerity, not smart ass. Sincerity.
Yeah. Damn.
Uh-huh. Set expectations high.
Yeah. I guess I do need to work on my words better.
Yep. Words are the beginning of an action.
Yeah.
And if you don't use the right word, you're not going to like the reaction.
Yeah.
That was very insightful, Paul.
Hmm.
I can just hear Dan's voice in my head now. When I read his comments, I can just hear his voice.
I have a real good friend that's a jeweler. And I was asking him, I said, I found a bracelet about 8 years ago on the ground by the lakefront. And I picked it up and it looked like a little piece of junk. And I checked around to see if anybody reported one lost and everything. And I checked with the police department and the people that I knew down there. And they took it and nobody claimed it, so they gave it back to me. They kept it for like 6 months and gave it back to me. And I thought it was just a little piece of junk. I was going to give it to my daughter, right? And I asked a friend of mine about a week ago, I said, I got something I got to bring you. I said, silver will tarnish and almost start turning like a brownish color, right? And he says, yeah. And I said, well, this has got to be silver then, because it's pretty heavy and it's made out, looks like it's well made. So I took a picture of it and sent it to him. And he said, dude, you need to bring that to me and let me look at it. He said, because it does look like silver to him. He said, because it's so well made. He says, I have a feeling that the stones in there, they may not be real, but they may be a high grade zirconia. He said, so you may really have something there, right? He said, I'll let you know what it's worth. And but this is it right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You know, he said the stones might be worth something like that, and
Where did
it's you can see how it's how it's tarnishing. And when I clean it up, I've cleaned it up before, and it's come back perfectly clean, silver and everything, and then it'll start tarnishing again.
Where did
He
you
said
find that at?
It was in the grass on the lakefront about 10 years ago.
Oh,
I saw something sparkle, reached over and picked it up. But he told me, he said, just the silver weight. He said, how heavy is it? I said, it feels pretty heavy in my hand. He said, well, the silver weight might make it worth money. He said, but he said, when you kill him this way, just bring it. He's across the lake. I forgot it the other day. I was going to bring it to him. Because he would look at it and say it's worth $50. He'd say, I'll buy it from him, you know, because he'll buy it in a minute, you know. I need to really figure out what this is worth. So he told me, he said, somewhere on there, it will have markings on there to tell you like 999 or something. And I said, I've looked at every little thing. I said, I see one area that I can't read that's got something on it. It's so small. And he said, yeah, that could be it. He said, just bring it in.
So where's he at?
Well, he's across the lake. I got to drive that 23-mile bridge. And I went over that other day and forgot it. And I don't go over there that much.
Well, when you do, you might be the best thing that you've done in a long time.
Oh, I know. You never know. But it's heavy. That's the thing. It's like if you put. I think I weighed it out. I think I put like 7 quarters in my hand, and it was heavier than 8 quarters. It was heavier than 8 quarters in my hand. And it's really well made. It's solid. And it does. And the other thing he said, he looked at the clasp. He said, let me see the clasp. He says, yeah, it's real. He said, I'm telling you, it's real just from the clasp. He said, because it's not a cheap clasp. It's a double lock, you know. He said, if it's just costume jewelry, you're not going to have a double lock clasp. He said, so it's at least silver. I'll go over there and he'll tell me, yeah, that's all real diamonds. I was like, what?
Well, I remember when I was married, I bought one of those little things where you put the jewelry in it and you turn it on and it buzzes and it cleans them all off.
Ultrasonic cleaner, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, like a jewelry cleaner.
Yeah.
Got one upstairs. My son has it for cleaning electronics.
It's got 15 stones.
I probably could be one of those guys, Dan. You never know. I've always wanted to get one of those things and walk up and down the beach and see what I could find.
Has his little scoop on the bottom of his metal detector, so he just flips it down and scoops up the sand and sniffs it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Sherlock Holmes. Those metal detectors are kind of pricey, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. They're like anything else. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You can get a cheap one, just like you can get a cheap telescope. It's the same thing as that. You can get in really, really cheap, but if you decide you really like it, you're gonna kick yourself for buying the cheap thing first and wasting the money. And you should have bought better the first time.
Yeah.
But if you don't like it, and you bought something expensive, you're gonna kick yourself for buying the expensive thing, but you can always turn around and sell it.
That's what the internet's for, Cool Cat. I could just search. I could search cod pieces, and it would tell me what it is.
You don't know what a cod piece is?
Like, let me think about it.
Huh.
Is it like something like for your junk that you put on, like you put on your junk or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Your like a condom or something that you put on your cod?
No, but it was a special part of your outfit. And if you go to the Renaissance Fair, you'll see them.
Oh.
But it provides easy access.
Ah. So it's like the zipper compartment on your pants. I'm kind of close, aren't I?
If you ever see anybody dressed up like Renaissance period and you see that big bulgy piece of costume that is in the crotch,
Yeah.
that's the cod piece.
Oh, gotcha. So they're just walking around with that thing on with their big bulge all over the place.
It's a medieval jockstrap.
Ah,
A cup.
gotcha.
And yes, it did become a flashy symbol of virility. So if you look at some of the old paintings and stuff, you'll see they get more and more bulbous because you had to, if you were of stature, you had to have quite a large codpiece to contain your virility.
I don't need a codpiece. Mine's natural.
Natural.
There you go, TJ.
Oh yeah. Oh, this one comes with a shovel
And headphones.
and headphones and the.
I would
little-
I would skip anything that comes with a shovel. I guess that's okay, but that's a cheapy one. Anything that comes with a package deal like that, they're selling you on all in one, and it's probably a cheap. It's just like if you buy a drone and they have everything, all these little pieces that don't really matter. If you're buying a drone, they also include a landing pad. It's probably not going to be a good drone.
Yeah, because they're trying to entice you with a bunch of cheap shit to go with it.
That kind of looks
Yeah.
like you, TJ, in out
Yeah,
panning
babe.
for gold.
Yeah. The guy in the suspenders and the hat, like
Okay.
panning for gold.
Yeah, just
Okay.
just if you want to
Okay.
do that.
When you get here.
go out and find somebody that does it and see if you enjoy it first.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the sifter thing would be better than the shovel.
You want a pan for gold? What?
Well, no, just doing like the beach thing.
Well, you could be scooping a lot of sand from where you've ever found anything.
Yeah, like, oh man,
Hey,
I've been out
Dre.
here I've been out here all day, and I couldn't find anything. All I found was just sand.
Howdy. Is
All
there
I
a big
found was
difference
all I
between the
found
YouTube
was
stream
dirty
and
gum wrappers.
the Zoom stream?
What's that, Dre?
Is there a big difference between the YouTube stream and the Zoom? Because I'm looking at two different things going on. TJ doesn't even show up on YouTube.
Yeah, TJ's been learning new phrases.
Yeah.
Dre,
I don't know. TJ's been here for a while, Dre.
Tell
Yeah.
Dre what you learned your new phrase.
Yes, dear.
There you go.
Oh,
No matter
so I
what
guess,
she asks him, you just say yes, dear, right, Dre?
so I take it from that response that she has returned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she
Well,
was
good for
cooking
you.
him little delicacies today.
Oh,
She made muffins and such and cookies and
okay.
So how you doing, Dre?
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
You've never been out doing testing with the soil protection and looking for pennies and things, and
No, that was never my thing.
no,
Using the little metal detectors and stuff.
yeah, I could see TJ doing that.
uh,
He'd walk up to some girl laying on the beach, and he'd be checking her belly button ring. What do you think that
like, oh, I found it.
No,
Yeah, don't
no,
be
TJ,
digging
the
it.
real money. You know, everybody's going to the beach and doing metal detecting. The real money is you need to get your shovel. You need to go do research on like old homesteads and find out where their outhouses were, and dig down in where their outhouses were, because that's where they would throw like empty bottles and stuff. And of course, throwing an empty bottle into a pile of shit is kind of cushioned. You can find some really nice antique bottles buried under old outhouses.
Okay,
that'd
Don,
be a
that's
fun
some of
job.
that Midwest wisdom, huh?
Yep. My grandmother used an outhouse until the day she died.
Wow.
And that was in late 70s.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's one thing I learned when I joined the military is that people from certain parts of the country don't live the same way as others, and you hear stories like that people live in certain spots grew up never having indoor plumbing. They had to go out and use a well pump to get their water in the house, and
I remember when they got
How
the
they
water
bathe.
actually into the house for her, because she was going out to she had a well house and she'd go
Yeah.
out there and get her water, but
yeah, and
outhouses are pretty crazy. Like, or now you call them porta johns, because when it's really hot and you're like at a concert or some kind of event where there's porta johns, you're just sitting in there, or like out in like construction sites and stuff where there's porta johns, you're just sitting there and it's really hot and you're just sweating your ass off in there.
TJ talks like he's had experience.
Yeah.
Yep, those are those
Yep.
porta potties. Those do get hot, but you know, a good outhouse should have some chinks in it to get you some airflow across there.
Yeah, something. But it's like I said, when I joined the military in the 80s, it was just a total shock to me. You know, guys you meet, and they're, a lot of guys from the deep South, they talk about, especially their grandparents still living out in the outskirts of town, still have the outhouses. And this is, mid 80s and stuff. And then I hear the story of, even professional athletes growing up. They talk about how, they didn't have indoor plumbing and all that kind of stuff. And this is up until guys in the 80s into the 90s. And you would think, where are we at as a society or a country that we still have people living without what we could basically consider basic necessities. I say basic necessities means a difference to where all depend upon where you grow up at.
Yeah, but think about it, Dre. Most of the greatest thinkers in history all shit in a bucket.
True.
My
It's true.
nephew works for Honey Bucket.
It depends on what you consider a necessity. If that is
that's just my whole point that, depending upon I'm talking about modern times. This is like, say, the modern era, as we say, I would say anything past the 60s, most of us here, a few of us were born in the late 50s, but going to the 60s, especially in the 70s, you would think in your mind that everybody had the essentials in their homes, but that is not always the case.
And it came down to it was she lived with and people who lived with those more primitive facilities. They grew up with it, and they having indoor plumbing, indoor toilet. That's just kind of that's unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, I mean, well,
Yeah.
it was always a lot, geared toward cost prohibitive. But when your
Mhm.
local municipality or whoever services you don't have the money to put the lines in, that's the
Mhm.
issue in itself. When you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
even have a sewer line to connect to.
Oh yeah, to hook up to a sewer. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if you had we call the leach fields and stuff like that, we still have houses that still have those in place, but in California made a law
Mhm.
about 20 years ago that once your septic system fills up or fails, you cannot put another one in place. You have to connect. If there's a city line, I think it's a city line within 400 feet, you have to connect.
Hmm.
You cannot replace a leach field if you have a city line within 400 feet. You have to connect. So, and like I said, we have county pockets, what we call out here rural areas, county pockets. Don't actually have to be rural, but just county pockets where people have the septic system still. And my thing is the water district usually handles your septic systems and everything else in your water system. And like I say, you can attach that payment to the billing. It don't have to be a large amount. Most people, you're talking about a 30-year deal, and you can have them pay extra $20 over 30 years to pay for that connection, to have it dug out and put in place and stuff.
Yeah, Cool Cat, you're right. Some Californians have gone back to the more primitive way of just crapping the streets.
Oh, that's funny.
You hear?
Well,
Ain't that the
It-
truth, though?
Right turn on Arrowhead. Come down
I always think it's funny.
across the railroad tracks.
The subject is always considered impolite.
And you'll make
but-
a left turn on the cluster. And
Make a
you
left turn.
come in 2 blocks, and then that'll be Mountain View, and you'll see the gate and drive right in. Yeah. All right. Okay.
But all this talk of crap, I mean, it's something people don't talk about, but it's like, it reminds me of the Caganer. You know the like the Christmas nativity scenes?
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of the Caganer?
No.
In one part of Italy, it is common to put the Caganer in the nativity scene, hide it somewhere, and it is a person taking a crap, and it's supposed to it is supposed to remind you that in the divine there's also that element of the human and our basest nature. So somewhere you hide the Caganer. I just-
Don,
okay.
you amaze me with all these little quips you come up with.
I thought he was gonna go with that's what the 3 wise men used.
Is that what
Well, they
it-
did.
is that-
They crapped in a bucket
I
too.
just- like I
Is
said,
that what
they
it-
probably used it where they had, but people don't understand that the 3 wise men didn't show up at the birth. They showed up
Nope.
about 2 to 3
Years
years
later.
later. Yeah.
Is that what a what is it? A Caganer?
Caganer.
Caganer. Is that what that is? A person taking a shit in a bucket or something?
There are
Variety
all
of
kinds
terms.
of novelty Caganers that are made. You can get Caganers that are of the Queen of England, Donald Trump. You can get Caganers made of anybody that are novelties. Here, let me look up Caganer and I'll share it with you.
I think TJ was referring to the name of it back in those days.
Oh. I'm not sure what Caganer.
I'm sure the word toilet was not of use back then.
The way TJ's been mixing words up today, he probably thought you said catheter.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
El
TJ
Caganer literally means the pooper.
Speaking of which, TJ, Justin can tell you all about having catheters.
I never had one.
Well, tube up your tush
Never had a tube up my ass either.
Thought
Had
you
a
had
piece
your
of
tube
filament.
up your weenie.
There.
It was a front snorkel.
Oh, that's
And so,
hilarious.
there's a Mr. Bean one. There's a Smurf Caganer,
Oh,
a Gollum.
that's hilarious. That's funny.
A Bert
A
and
Bert-
Ernie one.
Bert and Ernie one.
So yeah, it's
A Caganer.
that's your.
Oh, that's funny. That'd be hilarious just to get one of those and hide it in the nativity scene somewhere.
That's what you're supposed to. You're supposed to have one hidden somewhere in the nativity, at least if you're in that region. But whenever I look at a nativity scene and there's not a Caganer hidden somewhere, I think it's incomplete.
Yeah.
Ever
What
since I
about, like,
learned
the-
about it.
What about those big huge ones that you see in people's lawns in their houses?
Usually they don't have a Caganer, so I go take a shit on their lawn just so that they're complete.
And you know what? Donald doesn't bother covering it up. He just leaves it.
Well, no, if you cover it up, that wouldn't really be in the spirit of the season, would it?
Well, Don got his military training. He says when the instructor says take a squat, he go over there.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny.
And I know the things I know is just I don't know where I gather this knowledge, but
Midwest education.
Midwest education, you know, it doesn't matter where you're from as long as you're curious, you'll learn stuff.
I think I'm gonna go on Amazon and buy one of those.
You know what, Michael? The revenge poop might actually be in the mail. Yeah, I'm not gonna do an email. I'm gonna send an actual letter with a little smudge of poop as my signature.
What is Lance up to today?
Teaching, I think.
Okay, he was in the car last time he was on. He went blank, so I didn't know. I know if he was
Yep, I am
working today or out.
teaching I am teaching leading lines today, Dre.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was going out to get a shot of the sunrise or whatever, but it's already past sunrise.
Yeah, it's rainy up here.
Oh, windy. Yeah.
It's not really windy, it's just rainy.
Okay.
And you know, Howard Hughes, the guy who made like the Spruce Goose, like the millionaire, billionaire, whatever he was, he became a recluse later in life, and he would, in his hotel room, save bottles of urine. He would just pee in these bottles, and his room was just filled with bottles of urine.
Ew.
And I can kind of relate because I've been pooping in boxes for the last couple months, and saving these boxes. And you might think it sounds crazy, but it's going to be worth it when you see their surprised faces on Christmas morning.
Oh my God.
He must have had really bad athlete's foot, because if you save your urine, you just pour it on your feet and it would cure your athlete's foot, I think.
That is fucking disgusting.
Right there on the carpet.
What do you do when you get it between your toes, TJ?
I get, when I get in the shower, I pee on my feet, but like if
Oh my
I'm just
God.
but then like when I'm sitting on the couch, it starts to itch. Like I'll just like try to scratch it with my hands, like in between my toes and stuff. I'll like itch it.
Oh my God.
He
much
just
information.
correlated peeing in the shower and then later on using his hands, which he puts in his mouth,
Yeah,
to scratch his feet.
that's it. Well, he's got a salt addiction.
Oh my God, you guys are gross.
Assault addiction.
If it's too salty, you need to cut back on your sodium intake, TJ.
Yeah.
Or drink more water.
Drink more water, yeah.
Well, TJ, he's got a novel way when he goes to the bar. He says, "Don't put any salt on my rim. I'll just piss on it."
Well, back in the day, there were people who were engaged to collect urine from different places because that's where they could get the ingredients for gunpowder.
Yep. Well, yeah, TJ could have been a urinologist.
A urinologist.
And they were given carte blanche to go anywhere they needed to collect the soils. And one of the places that they would raid would be in these rural churches because people would just piss where they could. Because you get a large gathering of people coming there on a regular basis, and
the wealth of information you have, Don, is probably worth at least a nickel.
Probably.
And,
I wish I could find a way to monetize this. What goes on in here?
You could put it on your own channel.
Dre has gotten into it so much he's actually muted himself.
Well, because he doesn't want HR hearing all this crap we're talking about.
Yeah, Cool Cat. You get good nitrogen-rich soil in the dark, and rhubarb. You can actually hear it grow when they force grow it in the dark.
Oh my. Well, I think we lost most of the people in the chat. We're down to 7 people.
What, people don't like talking about collecting urine and feces and?
Well, they're all off trying to tell everybody that the phrase of the day from TJ is "Yes, dear."
Why is Lance watching Golden Girls?
I think that is the what is being played as their school alarm, their bell, their class
Late
bell.
bell. Late bell. Yep, late bell.
He said they changed that. What, every couple of weeks, every month?
Yeah. I guess it's not real easy to change. So whenever the secretary can figure it out, she changes it.
Yeah. See, I pay attention, Justin.
That got just a little small giggle from Justin.
I take an interest in you guys, and I listen, and I remember.
Oh,
Justin
listen
doesn't
and
give a
learn.
crap.
So you guys don't have honey buckets on the East Coast. We have this company called Honey Bucket that's a porta potty. And my nephew is the accountant for the company.
They make tons.
And so I tell him he has a real crappy job.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
crap, Lance.
Yeah, but those companies make so much money.
Well, Lance, you just got to understand nobody gives a shit, you know?
Keep up the shit puns.
Yeah, Don does give a crap, usually in boxes around the holidays. Yeah.
He just leaves Mr. Hankies in there.
Guys want to get high?
Yeah, don't get high. Don't forget to bring a towel.
Oh.
Are you guys combining Mr. Hanky with Mr. Towel?
I think they hang out with each other in the show.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, if I remember correctly.
They sound an awful lot alike.
Ah!
Gee, Kyle, you sure do smell an awful lot like flowers.
That was a good one.
That's what happens when you drag your udders.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've about done it for the day.
That might work.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to close it down. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you again later today.
Bye.
Thanks for being here, TJ.
TJ, watch
Thank
that
you
clip
for
I sent you.
being a friend.
Remember the phrase you to learn.
Okay.
Walking down the
And
road
what
and
what
back
is that
again.
phrase, TJ?
Yes, dear.
That's right. Okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. Justin, we'll talk to you later.
Adios, everybody. Have a great
Bye-bye,
day.
Donald. Thanks.